The most successful organizations are the ones whose managers keep lines of communication open. They have the courage to listen to employees, to talk with employees about what they need to hear, and to explain difficult decisions. This course examines communication as a critical part of a manager's job. We consider the interpersonal aspects of communication, communication channels, persuasion, and listening, all affecting a manager's ability to communicate. Communication is the process by which information is exchanged and understood by two or more people, usually with the intent to influence or motivate behavior. Managers spend at least 80% of every working day in direct communication with others. In other words, 48 minutes of every hour is spent in meetings, on the telephone, communicating online, or talking informally while walking around. The other 20% of a manager's typical time is spent doing desk work, most of which is also communication in the form of reading and writing. Managers need to be communication champions. Managers gather important information from both inside and outside the organization and then distribute appropriate information to others who need it. Managers' communication is purpose-directed, in that it directs everyone's attention towards the vision, values, and desired goals of the team or organization and influences people to act in a way that will help to achieve those goals. Managers facilitate strategic conversations by using open communication, actively listening to others, asking questions, and using feedback for learning and change. Strategic conversation refers to people talking across boundaries and hierarchical levels about the team or organization's vision, critical strategic themes, and the values that help achieve important goals. Managers use many different methods to communicate depending on the purpose of the communication and the audience. Being a good communicator starts with appreciating how complex communication is and understanding the key elements of the communication process. Let's take a look. Many people think communication is simple and natural. After all, we communicate every day without thinking about it. In reality, though, human communication is complex and fraught with opportunities for misunderstanding. Communication is not just sending information, but sharing information in a planned way. A manager who has the ability to deliver rousing speeches or write brilliant commentary, but who doesn't know how to listen, is not an effective communicator. Planning is a key part of the communication process. A manager who wants to communicate with an employee encodes a thought or idea by selecting symbols, such as words, with which to compose a message. The message is the tangible formation of the thought or idea sent to the employee, and the channel is the medium by which the message is sent. The channel might be a telephone call, an email or text message, a formal report, or face-to-face conversation. You get the point. The employee then decodes the symbols to interpret the meaning of the message. Feedback occurs when the employee responds to a manager's communication with a return message. The nature of effective communication is cyclical in that the sender and receiver may exchange messages several times to achieve mutual understanding. Feedback enables a manager to determine whether the employee correctly interpreted the message. The potential for communication errors is why feedback is so important. Without feedback, the communication cycle is incomplete. Encoding and decoding sometimes can cause communication errors. Have you ever heard someone say, "But that's not what I meant"? Or have you wasted time or energy on misunderstood instructions? Individual differences, knowledge, values, attitudes, and backgrounds act as filters that may create noise when translating the symbols to meanings in the communication process. Surveys of managers show that they consider communication their most critical skill and one of their top responsibilities. Most managers realize, however, that they need to improve their communication effectiveness.